Hey, welcome to another episode of Champion's Perspective. I'm your host, Smitty. With me, as always, Tim Kovac. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hope everybody's having a good week.
Oh, yeah, I'm having a good week. You're having a good week. I'm having a good week.
Wins do a lot to lift the spirits, man.
Yep, that's for sure. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at last week's games, Tim.
Sounds good.
All right, TK. Starting off the last week's week 9, Cole Marshall versus myself. What do you think here?
I was pretty proud of myself this week. I said no jinxes, and I went a perfect 6 for 6 on my picks, so that was pretty excited about that. But this week I picked Smitty to win, or last week I picked Smitty to win, and he did. That Breeze and Thomas, they combined for combined for 81.5 points. That's going to be too much for anybody to overcome. So you took that one down.
The old double dip into Cole.
That's
and right in his butt and then in his mouth.
Ugh, the old ball washer.
Yep. Moving on, we got Scholes versus Scully.
I called Aldo in this one. Scully got big days out of Kamara and Julio. Al wins. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention that I did call Julio would get a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, I guess I went 7 for 7.
That's good. Good call. I mean, we're all counting here. Next lineup, you got brother Bill versus Ron.
I picked Ron to win this one. Bill got Stafforded for sure. Minus 3.4 points. That's going to cost you most weeks. If you have an average performance out of your quarterback there, it's at least competitive. If you get 18 to 20 points out of your quarterback, what you're supposed to do, you're right in that game, and it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
And
I think his defense also took a dump on him.
That's negative points out of the quarterback is really tough to overcome. Yeah. So Ron took that one.
Let's go on to you and Pete Lamb.
Woo! Bears defense. Bears. It would, anytime your defense scores 30, it gets you out to a good place. And
yeah,
I finally stopped my slide here. I called this one as well, so it was good to finally get a win under my belt. That's for sure. It's been a long time.
Your Bears defense could have put up 0 points, and you still would have won by 35.
That's true. P was the low point getter, so it helps. He had a lot of his big guys on bye or injured. So
yeah, when it rains, it pours for Pete, either on a winning end or on a losing end.
Yeah, I guess. I could run in a couple more low point getters. That'd be fine by me.
Yeah, right. Oh, we got one more game, and then we're back in the division games. You should start hitting your low point getters.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Davis versus Mac.
Mac took this one home. I said last week, Goff and Cooks would be too much for Davis to overcome, and it looks like that came true. It sucks for Davis. He actually put together a decent week, and he faced a high point getter, and that one always stings. But Mac took that one home.
I think Davis started Kirk Cousins over Tom Brady. Sometimes you try to be too cute. You got Tom Brady, you got Drew Brees, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you're starting those guys.
Yep.
You found out earlier in the season you had Matt Ryan. You were trying to play somebody else over top of him. Matt Ryan, he'll get your points.
That was a mistake for sure.
So note to self: you can sit Tom Brady when you play me though, Davis, because you probably got a bad matchup. Last game of the week: Nick Holbrook versus Brian Puffer.
Puff won this one. Gronk really screwed Nick. He's got two quality tight ends, and he sat one thinking Gronk would play. Everybody thought he would, and then all of a sudden, once again, he doesn't play. He's got to throw. I think he threw Gates in there, who got him a big fat goose egg.
Yeah.
And then his replacement for Will Fuller got him, I don't know, less than a point, I think. Devontae Parker. So that's tough to overcome. Puff, even with the 112 points, that's kind of a down week for Puffer. You really are looking to try to take advantage when Puff scores like that, and he couldn't get it done, and that's too bad.
It's tough for Nick because I don't think he's using a cell phone anymore because he doesn't text anybody. He doesn't make any trades.
Nothing. I'm
He's
sure we'll get something tomorrow morning about this trade fiasco from today. Like, what happened?
Maybe, yeah, maybe a week from now. Over this veto thing. So, all right, Timmy. With that, let's just get into your picks for next week.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, TK, up for your first pick of the week. Well, got a matchup of me versus you here.
Game of the hosts and game of the week, probably. Should be a close contest, but I am picking me to win. I got Leonard Fournette coming back. I know it's going to be a weird situation in the backfield there for him, but they're so much more successful when they're there, when he's there, and they're just pounding that rock with him. So I'm hoping he shows me why I took him with the 5th overall pick and just makes this home push for me. So I did pick me. I think you got one of your main running backs on bye too, which is always, that's going to help. So.
Yep, yeah, we'll have to see how Tyler Boyd performs for the Bengals with AJ Green being out, being a number 1 there.
John Ross might be back, which could help. But you have Lindsey's out, right? On a bye?
Yeah.
Okay, like that could help me. So.
All right, next up we got Puffer versus Mac.
Puffer versus Mac. I picked Puffer to win. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than that 10-point line. It looks like both of them have their lineups picked. They both seem to have some pretty decent matchups. I do know Mac has Goff, so if Cup goes off for Puff like he usually does, it could kind of balance out. Yep. But I think Puff has the horses to end up taking it anyway, so Puff wins.
Yep, gotcha. Moving down, we got Davis versus Brother Bill.
Unfortunately, I was torn between this one. I think it's going to be real close. But unfortunately, I think Davis continues to slide. Their teams have very good matchups, except at the QB position. They'll both have some tough matchups. I really think it's going to be a coin flip, and it's going to come down to whose team of receivers performs better. But I think Bill's going to take the W there.
I bet Davis would veto your pick on that.
Yeah, probably. He wants Trey Burton back, probably.
Big old fat finger on that button. Next up, Meister versus Holbrook. Holbrook back to the top of your division, Timmy.
Yeah. I picked Ron to win this one. Ron's team's been a little shaky recently, but Nick, I believe Houston's on a bye next week, right? So with Houston's on a bye, that means DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Miller are both down. So those are 2 of his big point getters, which, that's tough. That's tough to overcome, so I picked Ron to win.
Yep. Next up, Pete Lamb versus Al Scully.
This one I picked Pete to win. I know Kamaro and Julio Jones are both balling right now. They both have pretty decent matchups. But Pete has some folks coming back off the bye, and, like you said, it's feast or famine for Pete. And if it's a feast week, which I think it might be, then he's real tough to beat. So,
I talked to Scully earlier in the week, and he said, "Hey, keep bringing on the Denise comments. I find it really funny." So, this one's for you, Denise. Keep it up.
Good win, Denise. Thank you for taking control of Al's team again, so he could get back in the win column.
Yeah, it was getting kind of sad over there. Last up for last pick of the week, Cole Marshall versus Benjamin Scholes.
Ben's tailspin continues due to buys, basically. He's got a lot of his big-name players on buys. They actually both have a ton of buys this week. I think they're a little buy for each other. But Cole has more depth, so he's really going to give it to Ben. See what I did there? Since they're both. But Cole ends up winning, so.
Oh, that was good stuff. All right, buddy. Well, that'll end another episode of A Champion's Perspective. I want to thank you for your time again today.
No, man, this is a pleasure. And anybody out there, if you guys want to partake, just reach out, hit Smitty up, and we do it just about the same time every week, but we can definitely be flexible about when we do it. So feel free to, come give your 2 cents or make your picks for next week. Come tell me I'm an idiot, whatever. It's a good time. The more the merrier. So
we're always on the lookout too, keeping an eye on the 2018 toilet bowl champ, right, Tim?
that's right.
Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead for that running right now?
I believe it's AD.
Oh yeah. Well, I can see why he'd veto to try to get his team better.
Right. He's trying to drag me down into that cesspool because I'm knocking on that door. Hopefully I can keep this momentum going. I know it's one game, so it's not really momentum. Unfortunately, I do play you, but like I said, Len Fournette, here we go.
There we go.
Slowly but surely, chugga, chugging into the playoffs here. So
I can't wait till the soft tissue happens about 3 minutes in. All right, buddy. Have a good night.
You too. I'll see ya.